Today I'll be talking about the University of Nebraska football team, the history, tradition, and the players and coaches that played and coached for Nebraska. First off, I'll start with a little background of why I chose this topic. Being from Lincoln, I have a lot of pride in Nebraska football and all Nebraska sports. I grew up going to all the games and meeting all the players and all that stuff. A little background on Nebraska football. They've won 5 national championships, these coming in 1970, 71, and then 1994, 95, and 97. In the 1990s, Nebraska had arguably one of the best football teams of all time. I'll talk later more into that. They also have the longest sellout streak in college football at 354 games. Their stadium holds 90,000, so it's pretty impressive. They're also considered the best fans on earth. They're kind and genuine, win or lose. And the Sea of Red is a real thing. It's been talked about by a lot of analysts and sports reporters about how cool it is and how unique it is. Today I'll be informing you about UNL's football team, and I'll start out by talking about the tradition. The sellout streak is one of the biggest things that Nebraska has. It started in 1962. It's currently at 354. People from all around the nation come to the Nebraska football games, which is pretty unique. A lot of fan bases don't have that. The stadium holds 90,000. A little fun fact about that is it's the 3rd largest city in Nebraska on game day. Players on opposing teams also talk about how hard it is to play there, and how challenging it is, just the noise and everything about that. Talking about how fans are some of the nicest you'll ever meet. They're kind and genuine. Now that I've touched on the tradition, I'll talk about the coaches and players a little bit. Some of the famous coaches, the best coaches, are Bob Devaney and Tom Osborne. They're the 2 coaches in Nebraska that's won national championships. A little on Bob Devaney is he won national championships in 1970 and 1971. He coached one of the best players of all time in Johnny Rogers. His overall record in Nebraska was 102, 20, and 2, which is pretty impressive. Tom Osborne coached for a long time in Nebraska. He won championships in 1994, 95, and 97. His 97 team was considered the best team, or probably considered one of the best teams of all time. They went 13-0 and 8-0 in conference. They won the Big 12 championship game against Texas A&M, 54-15. They beat Tennessee with Peyton Manning, 42-17 in the national championship game. Their average margin of victory was over 30. It's pretty impressive. Now that I've told you about some of the coaches, I'll talk about some of the players that came through Nebraska that made a big impact. The first player that I'll talk about is Tommy Frazier. He was a quarterback in Nebraska. He played from 1992 to 1995. He went 45-4 at Nebraska. He had 5,476 all-purpose yards and 79 touchdowns. While he was at Nebraska, some of the awards he racked up were Johnny Unitas Golden Arm Award, the Quarterback of the Year, as well as All-American honors. He had a big part to do in the 94-95 national championships. The next player I'll talk about is Johnny Rogers, who is one of the biggest players to ever come to Nebraska. He holds a record for all-purpose yards with 5,586. He led Nebraska to championships in 1970 and 1971. While in Nebraska, he won the Heisman Trophy and the Walter Camp Award, which is the best college football player. He was electric. A lot of sports analysts that watched him play always talked about how he was a game changer. He always had a huge impact on games. The last player I'll talk about is Dave Remington, who was a lineman in Nebraska. He played there from 1981 to 1983. While at Nebraska, received many awards. Some of these including the Lombardi Award. the UPI Lineman of the Year award, the NCAA Top 5 award, which is awarded to the top 5 NCAA players a year, and the Outland Trophy, which he won twice. Something unique about Remington is there's an award named after him every year now. It's the Remington Award. It's awarded to the best collegiate lineman every year. He was a man on the line and just was a big presence for Nebraska. Today I talked to you a little bit about the tradition and the sellout streak that Nebraska has, some of the coaches that came through Nebraska, and a few of the many great players that played in Nebraska, as well as the national championships that they won. I'd like to thank you for listening here today, and I hope you learned a little bit more about Nebraska football.